Morning. Morning.
What's up?
Mike, you want me to start it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ready? Okay.
Ready?
All right. So I'll go ahead and time is now.
Your baby.
Do you want me to do it or you want to?
Sure, go ahead.
All right. So the time now is 11:05 a.m. I'm gonna go ahead and call this meeting of the Porterville Municipal Airport Committee to order. I'm gonna do a simple roll call, no specific order. So if you are here, just go ahead and indicate yes by saying aye. Member AJ Rivas. Present. Member Stan Green.
Here.
Member Fred Donkey.
Present.
Member Brianna Groves.
Here.
Member Michael Hardaway.
Here.
Member Thomas Rea.
Here.
Member Christopher Shaw.
Aye.
And did I miss anyone?
Staff.
We do have city staff in attendance as well. This is Mr. Albert Barragan. There you go. And then we'll go ahead and go into oral communications. This is just the opportunity for anybody that does wish to make any comments that's in the public to the Porterville Municipal Airport Committee. I'm seeing there's none in attendance. We just for the future purposes, we do not allow public participation via Zoom anymore. So all participation and public comments are to be made in person. And we will no longer be doing public participation via Zoom or anything. So we can go ahead and get into scheduled matters. First scheduled matter that we have for us today is the introduction of committee members, and I'll go ahead and let the committee just start off however they like.
My name is AJ Rivas, District Number 3. Glad to be here. I'm glad that we got this first committee going, and I look forward to future committee engagements, and hopefully we can get this in the right track, and hopefully we can ensure that in the event years to come that this will still be around, where we can make Porterville Airport very unique and expand and bring some more big boxes into this community. That.
My name's Stan Green. I'm city council member. I think this it was good to put this thing together because, you know, the big brouhaha happened. And that was just a lot of it was through just lack of communication, people not talking and knowing what was going on and where people stood. And so I think this will be good. And then we can hopefully move the airport forward, make it more of a destination spot than it has been.
I think Mr. Wadaker's here. He must be outside.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I'll be able to see. That is. Where's Abu?
It's just, we don't have it's for committee members.
Yeah, it's in the back, in City Hall, back behind the, with the, back behind it. I'm around there.
There's a very nice lady in the clerk's office that wants to
Yeah. Oh, okay, so you're up at the airport, okay, we'll see what they're in a bit.
When will everybody think an airport committee at the airport?
That's what I thought at first.
Yeah, maybe we can discuss that and do that.
It's absurd.
Be easy for all you folks, is there?
You ended up at.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't-
Yeah, so this is
There's only
just
one
what I
or
was
two people
told,
on it, so-
but as far as
Where are you gonna meet at?
room, I just,
At the airport.
Well, they got the rooms there.
Yeah, there's that one room. mean,
I think this is fine and it makes it easy for him to record it.
It's fine.
well, I can always do, we could talk about location later, if you guys like, so that we can set something. up.
Sorry, Rich, he's at the airport.
Whatever's convenient for you guys, we'll discuss that where you guys want to have it. There, here, or bi-weekly, or this is fine here. Okay.
What I'm saying is there's only two people that are coming from the airport.
that are physically.
Oh, at the airport, okay.
I mean, I could be, come to me. I
Right.
don't wanna come out of town, you know, make all you
I
guys,
don't
so.
blame you, I wouldn't.
Not gonna be
either,
that
having your
greedy.
spot.
They don't want any stock rooms for.
No, I'm not saying that.
Do we already go through introduction?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
Keep
Yeah.
moving around the table.
I'm Mike Hardaway. I'm probably, I think in this crowd, I have the benefit of having the longest ago history on the airport. My first flight there in 1954.
Wow.
So, yes, I was alive then.
Yeah.
Barely. I have, obviously a history with the airport and have just an emotional connection that I want to help preserve by participation in this committee as I can.
Chris Shaw, business, operator out there at the Porterville Airport. Maintenance and repairs and manufacturing. Probably only one of three businesses down there. But only one of two that's doing aircraft maintenance.
So you're the only one?
That's doing aircraft maintenance, yeah. There's some other businesses out there, but there's still, one is aviation related, but they're not doing any maintenance or stuff like that.
I'm Thomas Rhea, hangar owner, pilot. And I just love to see the airport grow and become more of a destination place.
But that's great, you hired her for pilot. Over here, and I rent here in the city.
My name's Albert Berrigan. I'm the transportation manager for City of Porterville. Currently, at the airport, managing staff there, and my goal is to make the airport more enjoyable and profitable for the city and the community.
Rich Tree, interim city manager, and staff is here to provide support. Really, the committee is to, you establish the goals and items that you want to discuss. We provide input when needed, but we're here to support the committee.
Brianna Groves, airport hangar, and my husband's a pilot. I enjoy being out there with everybody and looking forward to seeing things grow and establishing, everything that we need to out there. So long-term standing with it.
Good.
Can I mention something before we go?
Yeah.
If don't be afraid to speak louder, because people that are watching, they cannot hear anybody. The microphone is located on this little unit right here, so when you do speak, if you can just have a little bit more volume on that, so that way everybody can find out what's going on. Just one of that. Thank you.
Yeah, and we may want to establish like a chairperson to run the meeting. I know it's not on the agenda for today, but I think the next item is scheduling the meeting, the location, the time. Is it every third Thursday of every month? I think collectively the group should decide, but maybe another action or an item on the next agenda is to kind of establish a chair. In other committees, one of the elected officials is the chairperson and will run the meeting, but it could be someone different if the committee wants to identify. So I just kind of bring that up to help kind of manage the meetings moving forward, just as something to consider. And so the next item on the agenda is to determine like what's going to be what would the committee like to have for the cadence of the regular meetings, the time and the location. Any thoughts on that?
Sounds like here seems to be best fit, have the room and accessibility for streaming. Most sense it's for everybody.
Yeah, that makes sense, just time wise, the time, I mean, I can accommodate this time, and just subject to whatever's going on.
Yeah. I would love to have it later in my career, so it wasn't comfortable. My school job is very difficult to move back to find a substitute or obviously figure out what else. Otherwise, it's doable at this point.
What time would that be?
For the beat. I hate to drive the boat on that one. But
You younger guys who still work, kind of happy.
So what was your kind of preference on the time? I didn't.
4:30.
16:30, 4:30.
4:30, 16:30.
That would work better. For working as well, full time.
I don't have a problem with that.
Well, that sounds good.
Any day is good.
Any day? Anything
Except
for anyone?
Friday.
Except Friday, Friday.
Yeah, except for Friday.
Friday. How about, location? This location would be good.
Yeah.
And if there's any, hiccups, then we can discuss it and move it to another one.
Keep it Wednesdays, just kind of middle of the week, give us time to prepare and time to follow up.
Wednesday is good, okay for everybody?
It
The
works for me.
second, let's see, we on the council first Tuesday, second Tuesday, Wednesdays, the third Thursday, I go for my homeless, task force, Larry. And then the first Wednesday, I go at 3:00 across the street for the, navigation.
Second Wednesday, so
Good Wednesday would be good. For me. Is that okay with you guys? Me? Albert? Yes, sir. Wednesday? Yes, sir.
So Wednesday, 4:30.
Wednesday of every month. Yeah, sounds good.
Anybody want to make that into a motion?
And then what about frequency? Is there, you guys think there's any need really to meet every month, every other month?
I might, since the committee hasn't established the goals and the objectives and the priorities, I would say we start with monthly and then depending on where that goes, we may want to, if it's an item that needs to be discussed. Off that cadence, we could have a second 2 meetings in 1 month, but maybe start with monthly. And then, depending on how it goes, maybe it goes into quarterly, right?
Right. Yeah.
But
So we're Wednesday, 4:30, the third Wednesday, of each month, second Wednesday.
I'll make a motion for meetings on the second Wednesday, 16:30 monthly. Here? Here.
Yeah, I'll second that.
We need to do it in favor.
I was gonna get all what we discussed and I was gonna go back and then vote on it, but
Well,
we can do that. We can, all in favor for the second Wednesday? Passes. Yeah. How about, I motion for 6:30? Is that okay with you guys? Did I get a second? Motion for 16:30? Is that okay for everybody?
yes.
Yes. All in favor? 16:30.
Second Wednesday, 16:30, once a month.
Once at this point,
At this place.
and you guys wanna elect a chair now, or do you guys wanna?
We would have to put it on the agenda for the next time we come in as a scheduled
My
matter.
motion for the next scheduled matter to make to schedule a chairperson and vice chair and committee members for the next meeting.
I will second.
All in favor, say aye. Motion passed.
The last item on the agenda is to talk about goals, objectives, and priorities for the committee. And I may just to start the conversation, maybe suggest that the committee take a look at our lease agreement. We have a master ground lease agreement that really drives the hangar leases. And so this is an area that the council and the airport community has had concerns about certain language. And the council would like this committee to take a look at the ground lease agreement, make any recommendations to that. And then bring that to council. Right now, the leases are essentially in a month-to-month extension until this committee can bring a recommendation on any changes to that agreement. So that then we can move forward with long-term leases. That's just one that I'd like to throw out there just to help with the discussion.
All leases are on a month-to-month right now?
The ones that are renewing. So, right, if you have a lease that is essentially expired and needs to be renewed, we're renewing it month to month until the committee can bring up recommended changes to the lease agreement.
So at this point in time, it's any renewables at month to month.
Yeah.
And shortly thereafter, the committee comes up with a recommendation. We'll change that language into what the committee affirms.
Mm-hmm.
I'll add some background to that one. So I'm one of those criminal leasees on the month-to-month. And I'm working with Albert right now to get mine reapproved. So one of the issues that I've learned a lot about over the last month is the requirement for a $2 million liability on the policies, which I think for commercial policies, those are out there. But in my case, for example, my insurance, my current insurance would not renew my policy with a $2 million liability clause. Currently, the standard for the industry is $1 million for civilian private operators, right? So, and then I went on and found a company that would give me that $2 million liability, but it's about almost 300% increase in my cost to make that happen. So, kind of a learning experience for me. So it would take my insurance policy for my case from $500, slightly under $500 to almost $1390. That's 280% increase for that clause, which according to the insurer, and it's AOPA. So so what I do is I run my insurance through AOPA and they go hunt around for me. And that's how I know. So I made the request to them. They said, okay, your current insurance policy would not renew with you. If you wanted this added, I can get it to you for an increase, but it's not standard. And then the one lady that would take it, her point to me was, you're still at $1 million per event, but we'll take you to 2 million. So you can have 2 events during that year, but they're still at $1 million. So I think there's a little bit of a disconnect there between that requirement, which for big commercial operators,
It's okay.
it's okay.
But for private,
But for us, he's got a private plane, I got a private plane, not running a business per se. The million, she told me the $1 million is the standard. And it's still the standard. That's the policies that they are currently writing, basically have $1 million liability aviation standard. So that's one piece. I think the other piece that was in that discussion that we had at city council was the reversion. Right. So for example, after the lease is up, all the material improvement that we have made on the site goes back to the city. Right. And that's going to scare away investment because there's no way you're going to get somebody to go build a hangar just to lose it at the end of a 10 or 20-year period.
Or somebody come and buy an existing hangar that you are
Going to lose.
going to sell. Why would I go buy that if,
you're gonna,
hence, unless you have a huge operation, why am I gonna come to Porterville to do business. Not even from a, non-business, private party standpoint, from a business standpoint, why would you even come do business here?
So those are those two clauses that you spoke of that are in the, that we discussed that we need to look at in order to, make them more,
Yeah, I think that, it's $1 million policy, that's still significant, and it's the industry standard for most things. I think all of us here, even the businesses that are currently on the field, $1 million is the standard for the aviation policy. Just about every aviation insurance company can provide you that policy at a competitive rate. But I don't know what the driver for that $2 million clause was, if there was a particular event or something that happened. But it's gonna create a hardship for us. So for example, I
for
like
everybody, for everybody.
yeah, I would lose my insurance company and have to go to some other company I haven't been with. And I'm a pretty easy aviator to insure right now. I have 3,000 hours, multiple ratings. I'm about the least risky thing that you'd be insuring. If they're telling me that, then I can't imagine. But a young student pilot is going to face when they try to get in. So it becomes a big barrier to entry. And the second one being the reversion clause, it scares investment. Why am I going to invest my hard-earned money if there's a chance of me losing this at the end of however long the lease is? I mean, they're not. I think you see them places where the entity is trying to drive away. They want to become a commercial airport. They're trying to drive away the small operator so they can become a commercial airport. I don't think for us that's the case where we want to go.
No, I don't think we committed to this in order just to lose locals for big business. I mean, the locals are driving for us, in my opinion. I mean, I believe in grassroots. I don't believe in big corporations coming in and all of a sudden weeding everybody else out. I think there's a cohesiveness where small business and big business can work together, but we should take a look at that and we'll discuss that on the next meeting.
I do appreciate all the work that Albert's has put into, because he's been reaching out to us like, hey, here's your, here's the lease. Let's talk about this. Let's fix this, right? And I think he's doing a good job at it, but I just wanted to make sure that the challenges are out there so that he doesn't have to face them without having some good feedback and support from us. We want to get these agreements all signed back up, get everybody off of the month-to-month thing, but without creating some undue hardship.
What exactly? I mean, is that going to cause any hardship on the city if we go back eliminating or revising one of these two issues or both these issues?
No, I don't think so.
Going to a $1 million policy instead of
Right.
$2 million?
Yeah, I don't think there's gonna be any challenges there. I think what the desire, at least from my understanding from the comments from the council, was that this committee, figure out what on the lease agreements that need to be figured out that supports the airport community, and bring those recommendations back to council so they can review it and hopefully approve it, and then we just move, everyone is able to move forward.
I think that works for you guys.
Yeah.
$1 million would work for us.
And make these decisions, but we don't know how it affects you guys. We don't want to put you guys, we don't put you guys between the rock and the proverbial hard spot,
Yeah.
So I don't know if this is a place where you'd understand I'm doing.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
I don't know if this is a place to ask. So we have,
Ask away.
we have people that have leases, land, they're leasing the property. That's all that's in here. And then we have renters. So, us being the leases or whatever, we have to pay $2 million or $1 million liability. So the renters that are renting hangars at the airport, do they have to get $1 million liability, or is that just included in their monthly hangar
It's the
rent?
landlord's responsibility.
Yeah, I don't think there's any guidance, to be honest. I think the rental agreement is like a one pager, essentially tell us your name and some other information. That could be an area that this committee looks at and expands that rental agreement.
Yeah, and
Um,
the renter should carry a rent, policy that already has that $1 million
Yeah.
rider. That's the aviation standard. So it's gonna be in my rental policy for
Mhm.
hangar 19, there is $1 million
Policy
policy for
now.
that airplane.
So-
It's in there.
So that would mean that, to me, if I'm understanding this, if you're the renter and I'm the owner, that would apply to me on that end, on the insurance, right? So if you're the one that's flying, would it affect you as a $2 million policy or?
Yes, if you made a renter get a $2 million policy, then the renter would be facing that 200 and something % increase like
Like you,
like I.
like you,
But I don't think it has anything to do with flying. It has to do with occupying that location.
that location.
So if you, like, for instance, the city has some hangars that they're renting that have no airplane in it.
Right.
They got cars in it. And so that person, they get the insurance policy already paid for by the city, or should they be getting their own policy? It has nothing to do with flying. It's the occupation of that
So
hangar.
it's just the occupation of the space.
That's how I look at it. Yeah, that's how.
As,
I
as a
wouldn't know.
renter,
I wouldn't know. That's something to look at and we can figure.
So I'm not done yet. So if
Oh, I'm
he,
sorry.
as an airplane in there, and part of that policy is you gotta have what did it say I don't rent a hangar, so I don't know.
It's standard from any airplane is gonna be $1 million. If you have a rental policy.
So as a renter, so you're renting one of the hangars from the city, not the lease, but you're renting one of those hangars. So you have another insurance policy?
The airplane has a policy.
The airplane has a
The
policy.
tail number has a policy. but it's $1
So
million.
is that to protect your airplane should something happen, or is
It's
that to
liability.
protect?
It's liability, so it's to protect you and whatever entity you're a part of from lawsuit, right? So say I'm flying a kid in my airplane in the city hangar. If we are in the act of flying or doing something that relates to flying, right? So we're doing the pre-flight, the kid's cuts his finger off on the aileron,
Mhm.
right? Then even though it happened in the rental hangar, my airplane policy should cover that liability for $1 million.
So that'd be interesting. How do you get that same kind of coverage for those that have no airplane in it? It's strictly full-blown cars in a city hangar.
yeah, I would say.
That's an undue, that's not fair.
I agree, and so maybe from what I'm hearing, at the next meeting in advance, when we send out the agenda, we're gonna be sending out the current ground lease agreement, so the committee can take a look at, and then they can review and make recommendations. We'll also send out to the committee the current rental agreement, and the committee can review it and make recommendations. I think, to your point, this committee, I think this is a great place to discuss what actually should be rented, right, in a hangar, right? Committee, maybe you define it, is it aviation related only? Or are you willing to open it up? Does the committee think it's good to open up to any type of, like you said, a car or cars being stored in a hangar rental? But I think maybe we just start there as we send out to the committee these agreements, and then that will lead to a lot more discussion at the next meeting. That's okay. Sure.
Yeah, my point was just about, the insurance, we can do that too, but it was like, you're making certain groups cover for insurance at 1 million, 2 million, or 19,000. It's like, okay, well, that's all gotta be fair too. I'm done.
You have something to say?
mine's been covered.
I think another place in regards to the item, and we're on the third section of the agenda, maybe we pause so
Yeah,
Mr.
no,
Potter
that's
can.
fine. I'm just listening, I'll get caught up and talk to everybody, and then I'll be up to speed by the time I get back to the next meeting, I won't be late.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't the only one, a couple others went to the airport too.
I think another area that we can discuss today is what are the goals and the objectives for this committee? I've heard a lot of, their vision for the airport, but I think to help this committee narrow down is to discuss some goals and objectives.
Does the airport have I know they've been talking about fixing the lights out there for years. And they had the lights picked out or whatever. I mean, but the lights out there and the fences are
He's talking about the security.
You're talking about
lights.
parking lights inside.
parking lots
Inside the hangar
inside.
space,
Yeah,
not the runway.
I know the runway lights that they're being worked on, but just the security lights that half of them don't work. The holes in the fences and stuff like that, I know it costs money, but it is a security deal. I mean, we have to have a card or a code to get in. And here's a big hole in the fence right there. So I patched a few of them up myself, tied them together, but I think the lights, they were looking at LED lights a while back, but I don't know if there's anything. It just doesn't seem like it'd be that tough. Get some lights going.
There might be a way to offset the cost of the parking lights by putting the actual runway lights on that thing called pilot controlled lighting, or at night, they don't have to be on until somebody shows up, clicks the radio multiple times, and the lights come on in response to the radio clicks.
For parking too?
No,
He's talking about parking.
I'm talking about parking, but here's the cost offset.
Situation.
No, here's the cost
They
offset.
had that before though.
You save money on the runway lights with the pilot controlled lighting. Now that money is available to go fix the parking lights, because you're not paying for the runway lights to be on all the time. Right?
I think the pilot control lighting is what's in the progress of being taken care of.
Is it in the progress? of
Yes,
being- so that
actually,
is,
it's been worked on and they're working through some hiccups in the system and that, but yes, it's me.
but that should enable us to get some money back, so that not transitioning, fixing some of the inside the airport lights that will be on all the time.
Yeah, and so kind of to your point on like security, that could be an objective for this committee is to discuss and review security concerns out at the airport. And then I think to the also discussion regarding what's being planned is maybe another goal is to review the city's planned projects for the next 5 years out of the airport. Let the committee review what's being planned, what's been submitted to the FAA and Caltrans for future projects. And then have a discussion on that and hopefully get support from this committee to, yes, we like this 5-year plan. Keep moving forward with this and we'll support staff as they work through these grant applications that.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
So we'll be privy to the grant applications that are out there and all the stuff that you're trying to bring in and then implement to the airport. So we'll have.
It'll be transparent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No,
So last night was.
so I might be just asking something on it. Might will be taken care of. That's why.
Yes.
Last night was the city capital improvement plan special city council meeting where the council reviews all the projects that are being planned for the next 10 years. And there was a component for the airport. I think this committee, to your point, yes, we would be happy to share what the planned projects are for the airport and have conversations and maybe support and direction from this committee moving forward.
That would be Mr. Albert's direction. If you can get all that information from Mr. Tree. And then just submit it to these gentlemen and ladies. Keep them up to date on that if you don't mind.
We can do that.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, last night was an interesting meeting where we had a lot of insight as to a lot of planned projects. And the airport was a significant plan forward for some development. And I, as soon as you guys see that information, I think you guys will like it. It would also be grateful if we get some of your guys' input as to maybe we can have some direction. But yeah, it was really nice meeting and a little long, but very enlightening, very enlightening.
Well, I got a couple of goals. Is nobody else is gonna talk? All right, so,
Everybody's kind of itchy and fidgety now. We're gonna know each other for a while, so.
yeah, so this is the perfect time for this thing, because on July 22nd, the FAA released a thing called Mosaic, which stands for Modernization of Small Aircraft. Anyhow, what it does is Mosaic removes a lot of the bureaucratic red tape involved in small airplanes. What they're trying to do is lower all the barriers to entry to make it easier for people to get into aviation and stay in aviation. When all the stuff we've been talking about, these are all the barriers to aviation, right? So the policies, the FAA policies have become a lot, the aperture is much bigger, right? So right now in a place called Oshkosh, there's this huge air show going on that EAA puts on, AirVenture. I don't know how many, there's probably 100,000 people there right now talking aviation. This Porterville used to be kind of the Oshkosh of the West. So they used to have a huge fly in here. And with those airplanes came businesses, came industry insiders, came people that knew aviation that were looking for places like Porterville to start aviation businesses. So what I'm trying to get to is I think we should figure out as a committee how to enable the city to support new aviation entities coming to the airport. We can do that in a variety of ways, right? So having small fly-ins for communities that exist, so that the Mooney Mites, anybody here did the Mooney Mite thing when they used to come to Porterville?
Yep.
So the Mooney Mites used to come to Porterville.
I gave up when I found out I couldn't fit in the airplane.
Yep. Problematic, right? Bodikers do a thing with the Red Stars, right? Red Stars is a group of aviators. They love flying formation. They need a place with a lot of ramp space, good airspace for flying. Yes. Guess what has ramp space and airspace? We do. So Red Stars, because these guys got in that group, they come to Porterville. What, a couple hundred people spend a 4-day weekend here?
They buy lots of fuel.
They buy lots of gas, they get hotel rooms, they go to the casino, they come downtown, they eat. And they put Porterville on the map. I don't know if you've seen their poster from this year, but it says Porterville, California. It's got red stars, got the valley. They make us look really good to the aviation. Right.
Who's this? I don't think I've seen
The Red Stars.
All red stars.
All Red Stars group.
Yeah.
So they're a bunch of former Soviet airplanes, Soviet and Chinese airplanes that they fly formation. But they come here because the Quadicers kind of made it a place for them to come, and they do a lot of work. The groundwork and supporting the group when they get here, who's going to drive us where do we stay? Because they all come by airplane. And so now they're stuck. But what we could figure out how to do is optimize things like the transportation system that the city has for these special events that we know a few hundred people are coming to Porterville for this. The airport is the hub where they want to do, well, they got to go to a hotel, they got to go to a restaurant, right? And
Like a shuttle.
Like a shuttle. And at Oshkosh, if we got a chance to go to Oshkosh, you would see how it's professionally done. They're hosting a lot of people. You're talking, it's like a giant,
Since 700,000
Yeah.
attendees this year.
Yeah.
huge, right? I'm not saying we go that big, but bringing a couple thousand people to Porterville periodically. So the Red Stars take the month of April. Now we have the rest of the calendar. We can go.
Figure it out.
Yeah, but we can go to the beach craft community, right? Because the beach guys, they plan 130 ship arrival into Oshkosh. They put 130 airplanes together and they arrive, right? But before that, they go and they practice in small groups throughout the country. And sometimes they come to Porterville unofficially and do it here. But we could go to them and say, hey, why don't you just plan 3 big events? You guys come out in September, you come out in January, you come out in April, and then you guys go to Oshkosh. But all the West Coast bonanzas kind of come to Porterville. We're centrally located. So San Francisco people, LA people, Las Vegas people, they can all get here really easily. But there's a lot of things that we could do to promote people coming here. And these guys technically are going to own businesses. They're going to own aviation related things. When they're here, we don't miss the opportunity to say, hey, move your business from Santa Barbara to here. Move from Whiteman to here, move from Livermore to here, right? They're trying to kick you out of the Bay Area. They don't want you there. We want you here. Cost of living is great, right? We have all this stuff. You can live in Springfield. We go to Harmony Magnet Academy with your kids. There's stuff out here that we should be promoting every time they hit the ground here, we should hit it with some information like a pamphlet, but an organized plan to talk about how to make Porterville a destination like the mayor talks about.
That sounds really good. And that's what the committee, the council is all about, is progress and innovation and more businesses coming to Porterville. But if that ever comes to fruition, and I hope it does in my tenure, we're gonna need some more fuel and more mechanics. Because as far as I know, there's only one mechanic out there, right?
Yeah,
You're
and
the only one.
when Red Star comes, I might be lucky, if you want to call it lucky, to do one maintenance task. It's not a very big, or not to be the poo on it, that's reality. I might get one maintenance task, two maintenance tasks on it, so.
The issue with it is, if he's booked and my airplane's due for annual, I have to take my airplane someplace, right? And my airplane's been to Fresno, Visalia, Bakersfield. He's
busy.
He's busy and he's a premier guy when it comes to Cessnas. I don't know this. So it would be awesome to be able to do my annuals in here every year, which periodically, like the guy across the hall, across the taxiway, him who primarily works in Visalia will do mine every couple of years. But it's a thing because instruments, propellers, engines, all of those things could be here in town. And that it would be super nice for him not to have to go get a propeller or some other thing from a different city. Just have a guy down a taxiway that can help you out. But as a city, we have a lot of stuff going for us that I don't think we realize we have going for us. And if you go to Whiteman Airport, they have a Save Our Airport campaign, right? It's them versus the city council. Everybody at the airport is pretty sure they're going to lose. So they're looking for other homes. Like the Plains of Fame is one of the most famous museums out there. They have a flying collection of World War birds. They got kicked out of Chino. They're moving up the coast to another location. But as these things happen, if we have an idea of how we can go talk to them and they know we're here, maybe we can get some of those entities to come to Porterville instead of going to other places. Another example, Santa Barbara Aviation no longer resides in Santa Barbara. They're in Mojave. They left Santa Barbara because of issues with the city there. So you guys are creating an environment to bring people in. And I think the airport would be a great place to actually see that. Those people come.
Well, I would like to see that. But you,
If we don't try to promote it, I mean, if nobody knows about it, they're not coming, right?
Those are great goals, Fred. I got air shows and fly-ins, new aviation business, improved security, developing a marketing plan.
fuel. Be able to, enough, that means we would have to get an, I don't know.
Well, we have plenty of fuel. We have two 20,000 gallon jet fuel tanks and a one 20,000 gallon half fuel tank, and then we can get loads of fuel delivered like next day. So, can't keep-
Yeah, I don't see fuel being an option, an issue. Just being able to get the fuel off the airport into your airplane is an issue right now. Yeah.
Hopefully that'll be fixed next week. We have a company finally, they're coming in to replace the dispensers and the card reader.
We'll actually have working card readers at the self-service.
Yeah, that's the goal.
I can get it to work every now and then.
We're
And the fuel guys
It
have
is.
always been pretty good. If they can't get it, work, they take,
they cover the gap, and
Yeah.
we're not the only people having
Yeah.
issues with those machines. I mean,
they seem antiquated for what is out there anymore.
Yeah, long time coming, but it's all being replaced next week.
Oh, we don't
Or
have-
upgraded.
That's,
I'd say upgraded.
that's just good to know, you know, there's little stuff like that. We don't hear it. We're just like, oh, we gripe about it,
Yeah.
but we don't hear, it's like, hey, it's in the works, it's coming.
Well,
So it's kind of nice
if
to
you
know.
have a gripe, don't hesitate to call me, and, I'll see what I can do to resolve it or get you an answer. I mean, I'm always busy, Mr. Green's busy, we have other things going on,
No, I'm not that busy. You're giving me way too much credit here.
We're busy. We're busy and like today, that's 1600 till 4 o'clock. We have to go, I'm going to that ribbon cutting. At Engine 72. And you guys are all welcome to be there for the opening there.
New training.
New training facility.
Where's this? This one?
Up in Morton and Yukon.
Fire tower thing.
Yeah.
I was wondering, would it be okay if bring a couple of my grandkids?
Sure, it's open to the public.
Okay, yeah, more than welcome. If there's any other issues, now's the time to bring it up and let's talk about it. Mr. Intern, I call him senior manager. I don't like that intern, but, so is there anything else you want?
Yeah, there's some other stuff like,
Go back.
yeah, no, don't wanna,
No?
hurt, not hurt.
You're gonna hurt my feelings.
No, not hurt feelings. There's things that are called NOTAMs that get issued, depending on what's going on. Notice to airmen's that can alert pilots that are flying about issues that may be at their destination. And so, like coming to the airport to get fuel.
Okay.
And if the fuel pump's not working and you're coming in at 9 o'clock at night and you get there and you're trying to use it, nothing's happening. You're now stuck at Porterville until the next morning. You can't resume your flight. So if you knew that there was a NOTAM issued prior to that, you would say, okay, I'm not going to Porterville to get fuel. I would go to. So if our fuel pump is intermittent and not working right now, which is not working on me 2 days ago, yeah, there should be a NOTAM issued saying, hey, don't, unless the city's willing to say, hey, we'll come out and fuel you, after hours, but
The NOTAM would tell you what.
the NOTAM would tell you what that number is and say, hey, there will be a call out fee or there will not be a call out fee. But it would be nice to know that going in. And so,
So there's not one available now?
I didn't look, is there a
There's
NOTAM?
a note on,
Okay,
there's a
cool.
note up, explaining that the fuel pumps are down, and then there's a second note explaining that the fuel pumps will be under construction as of Monday.
Oh, cool.
So.
Cool. Okay.
there's- But we had, and
Okay.
we had pilots today. I mean, some of the training schools out from Bakersfield come in with student pilots and they try to fuel, but they didn't check that or.
They didn't check the NOTAM.
Oh, you're getting Bakersfield to pay for fuel now, huh?
Well, the students.
Normally they don't. No, normally they don't. They just come and use the airport and don't fuel up and go.
Yeah, they were trying to
Oh.
fuel and we fuel them with the trucks, so we're always available to
Yeah.
fuel them with our trucks, but there wasn't no other means.
So there's a little bit of egg on my face for that one because, coming back to my base airport, I'm not gonna look for noted about fuel. So, it's just the only one I was trying to use it. So,
And this one's critical because we are a divert location for like Bakersfield. So when you look up Bakersfield NOTAM, the Porterville NOTAMs actually show up. And yeah, you'll see stuff like, hey, look, Porterville's this type. The other one is when we get that temporary control tower that periodically will come in when the fire season gets really bad. It will tell you airspace changed. There's a power now on this frequency. If you don't read the NOTAMs, you show up, you don't know the power's there, you look really foolish, and you can tell who doesn't read the NOTAMs. They show up and they're on the wrong frequency and they don't know there's a power. But that stuff is important, and I'm glad you guys. So thank you.
I'm glad you brought that up. That clarified.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
no, I mean, no, that's kind of a big one.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah.
What you said.
No.
Yeah.
All my topics are getting covered just fine.
Okay.
Same, thank you.
Before the next one.
Well, I mean, there's others like.
Good
news.
progress them and.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Fred.
No, go ahead. No.
There's others like.
I'm talking too much, you go.
Yeah, so we got a medical helicopter out there that's kind of just sitting for over a year now in one location. And so is that going to be permanent there? Or are they going to get relocated? It'd be nice to see if they're going to get relocated to a different place,
Kind of.
Yeah, so we've been working with Reach on, so they have some plans to permanently locate at the airport and we're working with them. on that set of plans. It's moving closer. Yeah, so there is a plan for.
Why is it taking so long?
Working through the development process. So the area that they have, decided on doesn't have some infrastructure. And so we're developing those plans and extending the utilities.
Is that on the business side of the airport or is that on the lease hangar
It's
side?
to the north side of the airport, the undeveloped area. That's,
The non-business side?
mhm.
They're a business though, right?
You could look at that, right? And so this is the balance between the rotorcraft and airplanes. Is there a perfect location? We have a helipad.
Yeah, we have a helipad,
But
right?
their response and needs are slightly different, and so we're trying to accommodate them the best that we can. Again,
Why did they not build right beside where Harold Falcon was, that lot they were looking at addressed at the very beginning? It's a big enough to do a maintenance hangar and park at the big wide runway taxiway right there. I didn't, because they were there at first and then all of a sudden they changed gears and wanted to go somewhere else. So
The driveway's been poured and was busted up and poured and.
Yeah,
I wasn't here during that discussion, so I only been dealing with them on the current area that they're working on, so. Couldn't tell you.
What is it that you're recommending? That they move it or you're just seeking some?
but yeah, just where you want commercial and where you want, the regular aviation.
There's existing designation out there.
The original
That's what,
destination.
it's always been.
For a certain location.
Yeah.
And now they've moved it to another location.
Then when you get.
They're not, they're just in limbo right now. And so it sounds like they're gonna move to the non-commercial side. And so,
I think they're trying to be good partners, with what's happening now at the airport, right? You got helicopters versus airplanes. And so the area that they picked, right now they felt that would be the best location. So we're trying to support them with that. We don't want to prevent what they're trying to do. We're trying to find a solution.
They need electrical power. That's
Mhm.
keeping the airplane on alert. Or the
Yeah,
helicopter on
yeah, they have some requirements for their medical equipment that needs to be, they need to have air conditioning, so some power availability close by.
The risk we run with their current location is that if they do go to an alert and there's somebody at the fuel pump, there is a chance that the helicopter could produce enough wind to move the airplane, especially if it's a light airplane.
Right. And then.
so it's just been a matter of time before it's happening.
I see what you're saying.
So there is some risk
Right.
where they are, yeah, because if they're alerting, I won't go get fuel, I'll let them leave and then I'll go get gas. And it's happened a couple of times, but if somebody who doesn't perceive that, oh, you need to move your airplane, so the helicopter is about to go.
It could be a problem, major problem.
Yeah.
Typically it'll pick up a wing and flip an airplane and push it on.
Yeah.
That's especially if the Mosaic thing is about really light airplanes. So these airplanes weigh less than 1,200 pounds.
That's light.
It's very light.
Wow.
They would be at risk if they are at the pump station.
So that's where the helicopter is located, is near the fuel pumps.
Yeah.
Less than 100 feet away.
So somebody is still working with Reach right now. Was this like a jet plane wanting to go north?
It's a.
Hold on, we got two conversations going on here, folks. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm saying, so I'm just saying, city of Porterville is working with Reach right now to facilitate them going north instead of going in between the Indian hangar there.
Skydiving
Yeah, the
place. and the Aero
skydiving
Falcon.
place
Yeah.
and the Aero Falcon.
Mhm.
And because it's not big and that's a big lot, it's plenty. I'm just trying to figure out why that one died. That seems like a
Yeah.
perfect spot for it.
Or, sorry, Mike.
It's just. And instead of moving all the way to the north,
So are they gonna build something all the way at the north or,
Yes, sir.
so why not go still on the business side across from where Mike's talking about, across from Wildcat Way, where they're currently having a big parking lot for the Forest Service? I mean, that's all,
The taxiway there.
yeah,
already.
that's a taxiway there.
I think, well, I wasn't involved in the original conversations, and my understanding is they looked at, like, this is now their fourth location, and they've invested a lot of money into their current plans, and they're committed to the location right now. But I think this is something that the community can discuss, right? Taking a look at the master plan of the airport,
Yeah,
providing some comments for future development. I think this committee can help drive that conversation.
Yeah, for safety purposes.
And they're gonna have some ambulance access issues too, like they need to be able to get the vehicles there for a high needs patient. They have their medical requirements that I'm not familiar with, but it's something we can
Bring up,
become more informed in, so we
of
can
course.
not hinder the process. 'Cause I don't want, we don't want the helicopter to go away.
No.
Right, that's one thing.
No, but I mean, that's an airport. I mean, one minor thing could be a big major disaster. That's what we're trying, yeah.
There were plans years ago to turn that taxiway where the light is, and we were talking about this forest, that taxi was supposed to be turned into helicopter parking at one time, I heard. And then I never came to fruition, so. That was kind of why it was there, because it kept it on everything, even the Forest Service helicopters to park. The firefighting ones, they can park there. But since the big ones, you don't really want the big ones, I think they're best off out on the abandoned taxiway. That works pretty well for the big ones. They were talking about like the helicopter to pick people up and take them up, dump them off, those fires. That was supposed to be all down that taxi.
Yeah, because part of this committee is also to establish what's gonna be business side moving forward and what's gonna be the private or, non-business, so you don't have this intermix and have this potential, conflict, because that's kind of what will happen is, okay, well, can I have a business over on the other side? Well, no, you don't get to have a business, but we're gonna leave the helicopter here and they're a business. You
Yeah, the
know?
next guy that walks up and says,
Yeah, he's gonna have a trouble.
yeah, I'm gonna start a flight school down there. Hey, I got a hangar down there. And the city's gonna look, well, that's not commercial zone for,
In that risk with the small airplanes. So if they are next to, say, somebody who owns like a Buscom, they open their hangar and shove the Buscom out, and then the helicopter departs. They're in the same boat. Where the helicopter.
So what I'm hearing is we need to separate business from private.
Well,
For safety.
what's the goal? What's the goal? Is it the goal to have the intermix?
Well, that's-
The city have the intermix, or should it, keep that separation? So that there's a constant.
Consistency.
And
much-
no, and there is an issue.
How has it been in the future?
it's always been private on one side, commercial on the other. And it
And what-
stops right there,
And what,
Got a little bleed across the line.
kind
yeah,
of fuel pumps.
what caused the bleed? When did that
It
happen?
hasn't started yet.
Oh,
it would-
It will with reach.
It would
It will
Reach will be the
over,
first to go.
move it over.
So is that what we want? And now that becomes the tipping point. And so then the next person that wants to come in and do a business maybe over on that side, will they be allowed to? And do we want that? But yeah, I understand that if Reach has, already spent $4 and 4 times now trying to find a location.
yeah.
In the city or whoever controls that is like, no, you can't do that, but you can do that. But we'll look at this, I don't know. I mean, right now, the Forest Service in the areas that would still be viable that Mike's talking about. I mean, the Forest Service has a big parking lot there. And that was one of the items I was gonna bring up is it's a big parking lot and, I don't know how many vehicles are out there. 50 to 100 vehicles that transition twice a day.
And they,
And we're an airport and it's filthy dirty already, but
It is.
dude, when those guys come,
Yeah. People do some kind of dust control there. I would agree. If those guys are gonna stay there. They need to do some kind of and watering doesn't help. You
No.
can take a water truck out there.
no, they
all
did that at the very beginning.
All that does is pack all the mud out onto the road and then you got dust there. It needs to have some kind of dust control, it is something that works.
Mhm.
and is kind of aviation friendly too, you know. But I would think that that would be the Forest Service deals like, hey, you guys cause this problem. You either need to get some guys out here. So it doesn't cost the city.
Yeah.
They're wanting to use this property, they're getting it for nothing. And they get to park there and they're choosing up, yeah. And they park on the taxi, which pisses me off, but everybody else seems to be okay with it.
They park their vehicles in the taxi.
They were parking, well, when it rains and during the winter time, they put them up on the taxiway there. And, so they don't get stuck in the mud where they're at now to go and clean it up and get some drainage and just oil it. It'd probably be okay. All that dust wouldn't come across, like you say, twice a day. And, these guys have access to the airport and they're not really aviation oriented, period. They're just. I can see why it's okay because it works out, but they gotta be good neighbors. And I've asked many a times for somebody to do something. They said they did water, but all they did was drive through, track all the mud down Wildcat Way.
Yeah.
And then that turns into dust and it just made it worse. So.
It's gotten to the point now, it's just, you're beating your head against the wall. It's like, okay, I'll just deal with it, live with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and by keeping them there, that also stems off the potential of, having the businesses develop that.
Yeah.
So let's harbor that and keep those vehicles parking there. As one more reason maybe to say, well, we can't put a business.
I don't know what kind of lease the city's done with
Yeah,
the Forest Service, park all that stuff there and to do that, but yeah.
you know, hopefully it's generating a revenue, right?
They pay nothing compared to what we pay for our hangar spots.
But that might be a separate
Yeah.
deal too.
Yeah, no, it's just,
Back to like you were talking about the security of the fence, the holes in the fence and our gates, you know, now that the gates, you know, we have signs that say, don't let any other vehicles come in behind you, let that gate close. Well, the way the sensors are right now, at least where I'm at on Wildcat, you can be 4 or 5 cars in before it will not sense you. But now I'm being responsible to keep a car from coming in. So something needs to be done there to tighten that up so that when I come through the gate, if I'm gonna do what I'm told to do about not letting anybody come in behind. Does that make sense, Stan? You pull in and you gotta let that gate close so nobody can sneak in that's not authorized to come in, that doesn't.
yeah.
And the gate will close as
Right.
long as it's
Yeah.
sensed by the.
Yeah.
Close, yeah, you can't pull in and stop
Mhm.
and because the gate won't close, because it's sensing the vehicle's still there,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. So that was one other, and then back to what Mike said about lights. For security shining down in those areas. If they're LED, then they'll probably have a better chance of survival because they've replaced those multiple times and the halogens go bad or the birds do their deal on the photo eye and then it's a mess. I've got one of them on mine that, you know, that works and one's intermittent. Yeah, it's a mess.
It's 16 down by where my hangar's at, it's out.
And I think the old policy was, well, there's nothing going on down there, so we just don't worry about those lights and it's saving electricity, but yet. I know the photo control, the pilot control lighting is being fixed where it was like, okay, we'll offset it there. But that's going back. That was a thought going back 10 years ago. That makes sense.
It's a big old thing to take care of, but you guys have it's cleaning up nice. I mean, they've done a lot of work out there. The lawns look good, the trees are looking a lot better, looking healthy, so.
Yeah, the animal mitigation and the weed control is really.
Yeah, that's been nice.
Especially weed control. And I never really had a problem with coyotes and squirrels.
Maybe a little bit better goat head control on the taxiway down there by TCSO.
Did get a flat tire.
Yeah. Yeah, goat heads in the concrete.
I didn't realize they would give you.
We are working on a lot of that stuff and we'll send a sweeper out, try to get some of that stuff off the asphalt and constantly spraying.
But no, what you've done on us, some of that goat head island over there on the end of that hangers, those are under control. It's like, oh man,
I used to keep a bicycle in my.
those are bad,
I
but,
don't anymore.
but that's finally kind of gotten, now this looks like, you know, just old stuff.
Those are all good points you guys are bringing up. Definitely, I'm aware of like people are pushing to get that addressed, and then fencing. Yeah, we have some areas that have been damaged by the farmer. Out there by,
Build on stuff. I mean, and
Yeah, I'm
we
gonna
shouldn't
find out who
cost
they
the
are.
city. Those guys take care, and they just, every year they do, there's more and more spots that just get beat up with that orange grove there. And they turn and hit it, they knock it over. And Matt and I, we've gone in and straightened a bunch of them, pushed them back. And then the next season, when they come and pick, the pickers go in there and they.
It's outside, it's the outside farmer, not the inside farmer.
Oh, the outside, yeah.
turn.
It's, yeah, it's where the orange guys.
I was wondering what that was. I thought it was a car went through it.
Yeah.
That too.
It's where they load the
The bins and all that stuff.
and the forklift drivers.
When they turn and swing, they can't contract guys.
In years.
And there'd be spray rigs that are spray sprayers, those guys. Those guys don't give a damn. They run over everything. Freeze included, nothing sometimes.
Historically, those holes in the fence were used by the homeless camped on the Tule to come down and get into our shower there at the end of our
Really?
handrail.
You guys are experiencing
It's not been a problem.
No, I have not seen it.
Finally put a lock on the door. But yeah, they were going in there and using it to shower and clean up, and it just destroyed that little bathroom. You know, maybe get that thing straightened up a little bit too, but it's,
Where's
but yeah.
Where's that at?
That's at the park, right next to the airport cafe.
There's another one.
And they
So
were,
we have
There was a-
public bathrooms at the park.
Public.
They're public, for the pilots.
Of course.
So we have a little key entry, combination lock on there, so the pilots all know the combination to get in.
And the doors
And that
usually
keeps the
stand.
people, and that keeps the people that shouldn't be out
Shouldn't be
there.
out there.
Yeah.
But he's talking about the one that's inside. There's another bathroom.
it's calmed down a bunch for a while there.
Yeah, it's been much better.
Yeah, after we had the first fence upgrade, what, 5-6 years ago, it calmed down a lot.
Mhm.
See, the one Albert's talking about, AJ, that's for when pilots come in, like after hours and the cafe's closed, or if I'm closed, they have the ability to still go to the restroom without, you know, dropping trowel somewhere. Albert, about the lighting, also another thing about the lighting for security. I don't know if there is a requirement, but there could be. So if that's part of the homework is maybe get lighting that might not be the way it's positioned offensive to pilots. If they're coming in at night and not so bright that it's like the sun, because that messes up their eyes at night for adjusting. So kind of keep that in consideration if you need to maybe consult Tartaglia about that.
So a certain height and a certain.
I don't know about
intensity.
certain intensity and angle. Intensity and angle is
Yeah,
gonna
they're
be,
high enough, they should be going.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't look like soccer stadium. Like.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's, yeah.
Or a prison guard.
Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute. I know those, pretty bright. Well, I mean, I think, if anybody else have any questions, I think we pretty much got what we need and we can just follow the next, meeting of what we need to discuss and go from there.
I got one more, sure, it's a good news thing, but this is just for information. The school district purchased 2 hangars and closed on the old Falcon hangars. So we'll be submitting a waiver to Caltrans to have an educational facility inside the airport safety zone.
Or.
Basically, for the kids, yeah, that kids on the airfield learning.
Wow.
It will become a classroom on the airfield.
And what school was this? What?
Porterville Military Academy, so PUS.
Porterville Unified School
Yeah,
District.
Porterville Unified bought 2 hangars. There used to be Falcon Arrow that had the 2 hangars for sale signs. So those now belong to the school district.
Oh, really?
And they're gonna become educational
Oh, that's great.
facilities, aviation.
That's good.
There's some parallels of goals in there.
Yeah.
This is a good thing for us to do.
That's good. That's good. This is what we're about. And if you have any other concerns, reach out to Albert. Albert, reach out to us. And we'll just, we'll knock him down and we'll go from there. You know, if there's anything that you guys have as a concern, don't hesitate to call me or Mr. Albert or Stan.
Yeah.
I mean, we're here for you and this is what we're doing.
He's got my number.
You know,
Well, you can get my city number.
we appreciate what you guys are doing. We don't want to give it away. It's your guys' pet peeve. I want it to continue, even after the fact that I'm no longer a council member, but at least you guys have, the stepping stone to create something that we want and we envision the Porterville Airport to be. We want more business. We want to keep it grassroots. We want to keep it for the family, for generations to come, and we don't want no overreach from any city or anybody. More activities, more for the people, more for the public, and I think it's in a great location. And you know, we'll focus on the liabilities and we'll focus on the month to month, and we'll discuss that on the next meeting. So. Anybody doesn't have any, Stan, you have anything? Anybody have any
Get the
questions?
go-kart track back up. Run go-karts out there.
Yes, so, and then I don't know if anybody else had any questions or anything like that before we get to adjournment. I just want to do some housekeeping stuff before we get to that point. Everybody good? All right, so just so that you're aware, again, this committee is a council member established committee. With that being said, there are some things that you do have to abide by, such as like certain things like the Brown Act and whatnot, as being a committee member in this committee. I won't go into detail on all of that. It's a lot of information. If you do have any questions about it, just feel free to contact me. But at minimum, as far as the meeting goes, you do have to reach a quorum in order for us to have these meetings, whenever we do agendize them and do all of that. So right now it's an 8 committee member committee, so we would need at least a quorum of 5 people to be here to have a meeting. If for some reason you don't think you will be in attendance, please let me know so that way I can reach out to our 2 alternates who are Mr. Miles Elliott and Elizabeth Raya. So that way I can let them know if they can try to attend in your place if for some reason you can't attend meetings. Again, this is just kind of like a housekeeping thing that I did want to mention. If you have any questions as far as some of the information that's on the agenda, as far as like the records or anything like that, just feel free to contact me. Again, I'm a city resource as well. So just if you have any questions about anything on there, or if you're looking for something or whatever it may be, and I can help you and assist you in that way, just let me know. The agenda looks like it'll go out most likely about a week, I would say a week to a week and a half before the meeting date. So just kind of be on the lookout for it to go out around that time. I think that's pretty much it on my end.
Next meeting, if we go the next second Wednesday, that's August 13th, which isn't very far away.
That is correct. So the next meeting is scheduled to be August 13th. It'll be here at the Coleman Conference Room at 4:30 p.m. Not necessarily a long time away. I don't know if, we can get an agenda out or I don't know if we're gonna have a lot of items. We can go ahead and leave that to I don't know.
Do you guys with that, do you guys want to bypass the following meeting and start the next month? September, maybe?
Or do each of us have, the lease agreement? Has anybody else kind of marked up what they thought on it? Do we bring that, just have a discussion on that at on the 13th?
So I think you can sure.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
I'll bring mine.
Yeah. That'll get me reacquainted with it again, even though I have one marked up. That'll get me reacquainted with it, so it just doesn't finally just get pushed down the line.
Is there a chance we could get a look at the CAL FIRE agreement?
Yeah, I don't see, can we do that?
I think we can, yeah,
Yeah.
for the next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's a current signed agreement. I think there was.
Which one
was supposed to be some negotiation.
Cal Fire?
We can look into it
Yeah.
and see what we have available. There might, like you said, it might not be an executed agreement, but there might be something that we have.
That we
available, yeah.
they can look at. And also, can you have some information on the Browns Act for each member?
Yeah, question about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's gonna be, you kind of just glossed over real quick. I mean, I can obviously look at the Brown Act on the internet, right, and see what it's
Yeah.
about, but if there's other restrictions that were applied, if required by, if you could at least provide that at the next meeting, so I can look, I'll look those up. You don't have to give me the whole.
If it's beneficial for the committee, what I can actually do is provide the packet on the Brown Act, and that's something that you can peruse through on your own, unless, because I
That would be great.
yeah, it's a resource that I typically use, and it comes from the League of California Cities. It's basically a condensed version of, what it is and, what you should be abiding by and all of that information. To give you like an actual rundown of everything,
It's very informative.
it would require a little bit more of a legal. Like our city attorney would probably want to be more involved in that, so that way we can get into like the actual.
But what I'm asking if there's other ones too, because you kind of sound like there might have been other ones, but you only specifically said the Brown Act.
No.
Well, the Brown Act is just the one whole thing. It's a one whole government code that, basically it's our open meetings law. That's what it is. It's an overall, overreaching thing. The League of California Cities, they've put together a resource packet guide that has everything that you need to know about the Brown Act that pertains to like the meetings that we have, all the open meeting laws and all that.
But there's no other restrictions.
I'd have to. There's a lot of other restrictions, yes.
Yeah,
Such as you can't like meet, you guys can't all meet.
No, I'm not talking about the Brown Act. If there's other restrictions.
It's mostly the open meeting law ones that the committee is gonna. And now this is just an advisory committee, so there really isn't a lot of action going on. So it's a little bit of. It's it being geared towards council because they actually make, the decisions and whatnot. It's
recommendation.
yeah, that's something that they have to buy. We use this.
It's just something that you should be informed of, but
Yeah.
the council makes some decisions, but all it is, you should be aware of it. That way for your information, and that way we don't cross
Yeah.
over any venues of improprieties and stuff like that. It's very informative, and I think it would be
So
good for you
between
guys.
the committee and the council people,
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to be careful of.
correct, yes.
So
We can talk, right?
Yeah, you can.
We can talk.
But in regards to how you want us to vote, that it can get real shady and there's improprieties there. And we can get in a lot of trouble. But recommendation wise, where it doesn't influence our voting, then that's why I mean, it's very informative that he brought it up, Mr.
Fernando.
Fernando. So many names, it's like, so, yeah, so with that,
Yeah, I think it'd be beneficial to just go ahead and bring that packet so that way you guys can peruse through it. Again, if I see something that's, that I probably would recommend to stay away from or something like that, I'll let you guys know. But for the most part, the thing that I'm talking about is mostly the quorum stuff, that we, so that way we can have these meetings. But yeah, if you actually wanted an in-depth thing of the Brown Act, we could always set something like that up with the city attorney, but I don't think it would be required, so.
but it's always good to be err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
Than not, so.
Yeah.
But with that, I mean, if anybody has any other questions, I think I'll have to end this meeting and go to the next meeting on. What do we say?
August 13th.
August 13th at $1,600. You're at
1630.
1630.
Okay.
All right, good. Meeting adjourned.
Meeting adjourned.